My life doesn't feel busy anymore, and it's not because I do less, but because everything lives in one single system. This is how I manage my work, personal tasks, my entire schedule, and even my finances on my iPad. I will break it down step by step, and near the end, I'll reveal that one mistake that almost ruined my workflow, and how fixing that actually changed me for better. To understand the system, you have to understand my biggest problem. My brain used to feel like a browser with 67 tabs open, random tasks scattered everywhere, and underneath all of that constant background hum of anxiety. What am I forgetting right now? And the frustrating part, I had the tools, I had my calendar, the to-do list, but nothing really connected. That's when I realized I don't need another perfect app, I needed a complete workflow. As I don't use this iPad to be productive, I use it to think clearly. I'm Prithviraj and let me show you how it actually works. This system is built on 4 pillars, 4 areas that cover everything I need to manage in my life. The first pillar is planning. This is where I decide what actually matters, not what's urgent, not what's screaming for my attention, but what genuinely deserves my time and energy. Second one is action. All my tasks and habits. This is what needs to get done, all the actionable stuff, the concrete next steps. Third, we have the calendar, the when and where, the absolute non-negotiables. And fourth, money, the reality check. Now here's the trap. Most people nail 3 of these and completely ignore the 4th one, just like myself. That was the mistake that quietly broke my workflow. I will exactly show you where I went wrong, but to understand the fix, you need to see the foundation first. Let's start with the app where everything begins. For me, everything starts here in GoodNotes. This is the most important part of my system. This isn't where I execute or manage my calendar. GoodNotes is where I think, where I decide what deserves my attention in the first place. Every morning before I check anything else, I open this page and write 3 questions. What is my priority today? What's actually important? And what can wait? This isn't really a to-do list. Think of this like a filter. If something doesn't make it onto this page, it doesn't get my energy. The reason why I'm using GoodNotes is because the hands-on approach is really important. There's something about writing things down yourself. Even if you have an ugly handwriting like myself, at the end of the day, it is still yours. And this small tweak really helps me stay accountable. Most days I have fewer than 5 things to do, sometimes 3 and sometimes even 1. Because if everything is a priority, nothing really is. Then I have my weekly planning page. Every Sunday night I zoom out, I look at the week ahead and I ask myself, what are my focus areas for this week? What do I need to protect time for? What's coming up that I need to prepare for? This is where I catch things before they become really urgent. Deadlines that are 5 days away, prep work for a video, the kind of stuff that quietly slides off your radar if you're not intentionally looking for it. And this is the page that saved me last month when I almost missed a massive deadline. I'll come to that story in a moment. Also, at the start of every month, I set a direction. What are the big projects I'm working on? What does my content plan look like? Also, what are my personal goals for this month? This alone keeps me away from drifting, as without this page, it is way too easy for me to get really busy without actually getting anywhere. You can fill up your days with tasks and still make zero progress on the stuff that you actually care about. Let me know if you know that feel. Now, beyond these 3 planning pages, GoodNotes is also my thinking space. Meeting notes, brain dumps from half-formatted video ideas. I use the Apple Pencil because handwriting feels natural, as I just mentioned. So it's not really work, just thinking on paper. Here's the one rule that makes it work. If it's not written here, it doesn't exist for me. I don't trust my brain to remember because I am really bad at that. Also, I really forget people's names. I don't keep loose thoughts floating around. Everything gets written down. People ask about my planner structure constantly, so I made this exact system into a template. We'll leave the link in the description if you want my template. But remember, the structure matters more than the template itself. What matters is having one place where you think clearly, where you plan without distractions, and where you make decisions about your time instead of just reacting. That's GoodNotes for me, the foundation for everything else. But planning without execution is just daydreaming. So now let me show you how I turn these plans into actual results, because that's the hard part. Alright, once the plan is set, I switch to execution mode. That's where Todoist takes over. Every task I have lives in Todoist, work, personal stuff, content creation, all of that. But here's the most important part of how I use this app. I don't add tasks randomly over here. They come through my planner. I'm not sitting there throughout the day capturing everything into Todoist, as that's how you end up with hundreds of tasks and complete decision fatigue. Instead, I plan everything in GoodNotes first. I decide what actually matters, then I create the task on Todoist for the things that need my action. This in hand keeps keeps Todoist clean, intentional, and actually useful instead of another source of overwhelm. I organize everything by projects: YouTube, client work, life admin. Each area has its own space, so nothing gets mixed together. If it's important enough to be a task, it's important enough to have a timeline as well. And here's where most people mess up. They treat their to-do list app like a dumping ground. They add everything, after which they wonder why they never opened that. Hence, planning was the most important step in my system. Now, I do still use Notion for planning my YouTube content, as that's much easier to share with my editor and the other clients. But for 90% of my tasks, it's all here in Todoist for me. Now, for daily habits, the things like working out, supplements that I need to take, meditation reminders, and my morning routine, I've been using a complete separate app called Habitify. I love this app because it's simple, lightweight, no gamification, no pressure to be perfect. I just check off what I did. My goal isn't to track every single thing I do. Rather, my goal is to build consistency without overcomplicating things. So here is the relationship between the two apps. My planner decides what matters, and Todoist just reminds me. Todoist isn't making decisions for me, as it's not telling me what's important. It's just keeping a track of things I've already decided that needs to happen. But here's what nobody really talks about. Tasks and habits are useless if you don't know when you're actually gonna get them done. And this brings us to the third pillar. This is the one that I used to overcomplicate until I figured out this one simple rule. Now let's talk about time and calendar. This is where I completely used to lose my mind. I used to time block everything. Every 30 minutes my day was color coded, hyper optimized, perfectly planned out. I even assigned time for lunch and shower. It's crazy. On paper, it looks incredible. Like I had my life completely together. This looks so gorgeous. But in reality, it made me feel productive and absolutely miserable at the same time, being honest. As life doesn't really work on 30-minute blocks. Things take longer than you expect. Your energy will fluctuate, priorities will shift. And when you have time blocked your entire day, any deviations feels like failure. So now I keep my calendar super clean. I still use Apple Calendar for the stuff that's fixed. My upload schedule, meetings, travel, concerts and events I'm attending. The things that are actually locked in time and can't be moved. That's all that goes to my Apple Calendar. For time blocks and things like deep work, my filming and scripting sessions, I use the calendar view of Todoist. I create tasks with time estimates and schedule them for specific times. Those show up in my daily view inside Todoist as time blocks. This is a game changer. The moment you assign time to a task, it becomes an event and not just some mere task. And this has been a crucial part of my productivity. But here's the beautiful part of my setup. The integration that makes everything click together. The events on my Apple Calendar automatically sync to Todoist. So when I open Todoist and look at my day, I get to see both my tasks as well as my calendar in one place. I'm not switching between apps. I'm not cross-referencing two different views. It's right there all together. This approach, this clean calendar approach, is way less stressful. I don't time block everything. I just protect what's important. And honestly, that's enough. And now, do you remember when I earlier said that most people nail 3 pillars right and ignore the fourth one? This is the one that I ignored. And it cost me more than what I would like to admit. Also, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you're finding this helpful. I have a lot of iPad workflows and real life systems lined up. You are gonna find them interesting. Alright, now let's talk about money, because this is the part of the system that made the biggest difference in my stress levels. My Whoop thanks me for that. This was the mistake I mentioned earlier in this video. Money used to feel noisy in my head. Well, it still is sometimes, but not because I was overspending, not because I was in debt or anything like that, but because I had no system. I would check my bank account and see a number and think, alright, is this fine? Is it good enough? Should I be worried right now? I had no context, no framework for understanding whether I was on track or not. And for the past 6 months, I had planning, tasks, calendars completely dialed in. But I kept money completely separate, like as if it wasn't a part of this system. Alright. That, my friend, was a big mistake. Because here's what happened. I'd plan a project in GoodNotes, I'd create tasks in my Todoist, I'd block time in my calendar, and then I'd go buy something I needed for that project. After which I have a moment of panic as I review a lot of tablets on my channel, and guess what? I actually have to buy them myself. So this thought was always in my mind. Can I actually afford this right now? I had no idea. So now money has a structure for me. It's way calmer that way. Let me walk you through the 3 parts of how I manage my finances in this system. Again, the first one is planning. At the start of every month, I sit down and write out 3 things. Not strict budgets, because guess what? I completely hate budgets. Of course. I'm an adult and I hate budgets. They feel restrictive and stressful, but the intentions matter. Rough amount for groceries, eating out, and not to forget subscriptions. Just so I have a sense of what I'm planning to spend on each area. Second is my upcoming expenses. Things I know are coming. Annual subscriptions that are about to renew. Anything that's not a surprise, but that I have to be ready for. Now thirdly, my savings goals, cause my father would be proud that way. How much do I want to set aside each month? What am I saving for? Now creating this whole page takes like 10 minutes, but it completely changes how I think about money. As this isn't about the restriction, it's about pre-deciding. I decide in advance where I want to spend my money, and then when spending decisions come up during the month, I already have a framework for making them. Part 2 is the reality check, and it happens in my finance app. I'm not gonna do a whole app review here cause that's not the point, but I've been using this app called Time to track my income and spending. On the iPad, it kind of looks like a scaled up version of the iPhone, but yeah, it just works. And not to worry, I don't track every single transaction. I actually used to do that, but being super obsessive with money wasn't really my thing. As at the end of the day, I don't wanna be that YouTube finance bro. Or maybe do I don't know. I just want the clear picture. I check this app maybe once a week, and I look at two things. Am I on track with what I planned? And if there are any surprises, it's just giving me the data so I can make informed decisions. And again, I use Notion briefly for this, as I currently have my recurring subscriptions tracked with the date as well as the price over here on this Notion page of mine. And then part 3, this is my decision filter. Before I buy anything significant, I ask myself one question: was this already planned? If yes, if I wrote this down in my monthly planning page, great, buy it, no guilt, no second guessing. If not, is this something that just came up? Then I just take a pause and I think about it. Is this actually important, or is it just an impulse buy? As I'll be honest here again, I've made a lot of impulse purchases, not really proud of that, but it is what it is. Hence this one question, this one simple filter has saved me more money than any budget I've ever tried to follow. As at the end of the day, it's not about saying no to everything, it's about saying yes to the right things. The things I actually decided matter. Last month, this filter alone stopped me from spending like $1,200 on gear that I didn't really need, but I thought I needed. And in case you are curious, it was actually a new lens I wanted to buy. Not this one, a different one which I didn't buy. And the only reason it worked out because money is a part of my system now and not separate from that. Which brings me to the final piece. How all of these 4 pillars actually work together as one unified system. Because this is where everything just clicks. So let me tie all this together and show how these 4 pieces actually work as one system. Every week I start by planning in GoodNotes. I decide what matters. I look at my week, I look at my month, and I figure out what deserves my attention. Those plans turn into tasks on Todoist. Concrete, actionable things that need to happen. Those tasks get time blocked in my Todoist calendar, so I know when I'm actually gonna do them. And before I spend money on anything, I check my money planning page in GoodNotes. Planning leads to task, and task lead to time. Time is protected by calendar, and money is filtered through planning. It's one loop, one system, and because it's all in my iPad, there is zero friction. I'm not switching between my phone, my laptop, my paper notebook, trying to figure out where things are. And here's what that actually creates. This isn't about my productivity. This is really about my peace of mind. It's about knowing that nothing is falling through the cracks. And lastly, it's about going to bed at night and not lying there wondering if you forgot something important. That's what this system has given me. And remember that deadline I almost missed? It was about a client project worth 5 figures. The only reason I caught that was because it was on my weekly planning page. I saw that the deadline was 5 days away and adjusted my entire week and delivered on time, of course. Without this system, I would have missed that. So if you made this far, genuinely, I want to thank you for that, as I literally shared my entire system in this video. If you're into calm systems, iPad workflows, real life setups, not hype, not trends, just practical ways to think clearly and manage your life without losing your mind, and if you value clarity over chaos, then you'll probably like this channel. The iPad is just a powerful tool. I've been using my iPad Pro M5 as my primary computer. If you would be interested in that, then click here on this video, and over there I've shared my experience of using my iPad as my primary computer. See you there.